feel like we wasted a lot of time, a lot of paper wasted, a lot of time wasted, and probably a lot of errors, because what we as business didn't realize, how long it took to manually do all the paperwork and get the compliance together. It probably took the same amount of time when we had to audit and check it. So it saved a lot of time. It's a lot, more efficient. But more importantly, as a business owner, I have that peace of mind that everything's being done compliantly. So I'm not going to have an issue 9 months down the line where we can't evict a tenant for a landlord because we didn't do the moving paperwork initially correct. The reference has been great. I really like how you've incorporated bank feeds and all of that kind of technology into that process. And I feel like before, tenants may have got a straight away no from traditional reference providers, but I think your software is quite intelligent and you can really gauge what a tenant's earnings actually are and help us make the right decision. As a letting agency, we are really time poor, so we never ever have time, and that's the most important thing for us as a business, just trying to be more efficient and help us focus on our core, which is helping our landlords rent their properties and getting maintenance done for our tenants or whatever it may be. So I think it's just been able to tick off all that moving kind of side of things. So yeah, been really happy with that. So we are a big promoter, especially from the beginning of lockdown, on rent guarantee. I think for myself, I've always, wanted all of my landlords really to take out that protection. And I think the rent guarantee product is great. There's a lot of kind of additional products, additional benefits of it as well. Whereas I think a lot of landlords think a bad tenant's a tenant that just doesn't pay rent, but there's so many other breaches of tenancy which can be just as frustrating or even worse. So I think having that protection, we know as an agency, no matter what happens, we've got Goodlord to protect us and evicting that tenant or whatever it might be. And then our landlords, if they've had a bad experience in the past, it will really, have left a scar on them now. And I think if you can offer that protection, it will pretty much eradicate any sort of issues they've had in the past, and they don't need to worry about their property really. So I really enjoyed that product here. So our portfolio managers now all use it, and I think they're all found it straightforward. They never ask me any questions about how to use it, so they must be really good. I think having an account manager has been helpful in the past as well. So I think if there's been any sort of questions, they've got that one person that they can go to. And I think the portal's really simple and self-explanatory. So, it's easy for any of our staff to get onboarded onto and use, and existing staff, to carry on, being productive and letting properties for their landlords. Yeah, so we started doing our renewals as well. I think the renewal process saves about 15-20 minutes because it saves all that chasing up, etc. I think if we weren't doing electronic signatures before, probably save an hour of admin. If you were physically post now or getting the tenant to come in to sign a renewal document, and probably typically with the move-in, I'd say at least 30 to 45 minutes, because sometimes we used to have the tenants coming in, actually probably even more, because remember, probably half of our tenants, this is going historic now, but when we used to do a printed tenancy agreement, they'll start reading the whole tenancy agreement in the office. So, my colleague would be sat there watching them read a 25-page document, which would take half an hour alone. But with the opportunity with Goodlord is the tenant can read it all before they've got it initially from when they start the referencing process. The paperwork's already signed and done, dusted before they've come into the office. When that move-in appointment takes place in literally a few minutes, which is great for the tenant because they're busy. There's not many more stressful days than, moving day. So they can literally grab the keys and go. And for my colleagues, it means that, they can have the move-in wrapped up in 5-10 minutes and everything else pretty much sorted before the tenant comes really. Yeah, so I think utility switching's very important. I think landlords always need to prioritize this, otherwise you're going to get incorrect bills, and we know utility providers can be difficult sometimes to deal with. So I think having that utility switching platform, we can make sure our landlords and tenants get the right bills. But the void period cover has been great, because the void period covers, it might not be a huge amount for landlords, but it's the hassle of paying that small bill of £7-8. Before you know it, it's become £100 bill with all the additional fees, etc., because you didn't realise you had to pay it. So I think the free switching service and the void period cover, yeah, that's been a nice little bonus for us as well. And the income earner actually as well. So there's a commission there. So yeah, really good.